There were 4 children in my family. If you asked relatives about us, they could describe my siblings easily. My older brother was the athlete. My older sister was the achiever. My younger brother was the troublemaker. And me? Most people paused before answering, not because they disliked me, because they rarely noticed me. Growing up, nobody intended for it to happen. At least I don't think they did. Life simply revolved around louder personalities. My older brother's football matches attracted attention every weekend. My sister constantly brought home awards that ended up framed on the living room wall. My younger brother seemed to create a new crisis every month. There was always something happening around them. I was the child who never caused problems. I completed my chores, passed my classes, stayed out of trouble. I thought being easy to raise would make life easier. Instead, it made me invisible. At family gatherings, relatives asked my brother about sports. They asked my sister about school. They asked my younger brother what trouble he had caused recently. Then the conversation moved on. Nobody asked about me. The strange thing was that I did not realize how much it hurt at first. Children adapt. When attention repeatedly goes elsewhere, they eventually stop expecting it. So I learned to sit quietly. I learned not to interrupt. I learned how to disappear into the background of my own life. By secondary school, invisibility had become part of my personality. I rarely shared achievements. When I scored well on exams, I kept the results to myself. When I won a writing competition, I folded the certificate into a drawer. When teachers praised me, I smiled politely and changed the subject. Part of me believed nobody would care anyway. The habit followed me everywhere, in classrooms, in friendships, in relationships. I became the person who listened more than spoke. The person who remembered everyone's problems while nobody knew much about mine. People often described me as mature. What they really meant was that I had learned not to need anything from anyone. Years later, after university, my family organized a celebration for my parents' anniversary. Relatives traveled from different cities, stories were shared, old photographs were passed around. Everyone laughed while remembering childhood memories. Then my aunt brought out a photo album. As people flipped through the pages, something caught my attention. There were hundreds of pictures, football trophies, school awards, birthday parties, family vacations. My siblings appeared everywhere. I appeared too, but usually in the background, standing near a wall, sitting at the edge of a table, partially hidden behind someone else. For the first time, I saw my childhood exactly as it had been, present but unnoticed. My aunt suddenly looked at one photograph and frowned. "Where was this taken?" she asked. Nobody knew. Another picture appeared. Again, nobody remembered. Then she pointed at me. What was he interested in as a child? The room became quiet. People exchanged uncertain looks. My mother tried answering, then stopped halfway. My father looked embarrassed. The truth was simple. They could describe my siblings' dreams, hobbies, and achievements in detail. They struggled to describe mine, not because they didn't love me, because they had spent years assuming I was fine. For the first time in my life, somebody asked questions about me, not out of politeness, out of genuine curiosity. And for reasons I still cannot fully explain, I became emotional. That evening lasted hours longer than planned. My parents asked about things they had missed. The writing competitions, the books I loved, the interests I never talked about, the moments I had quietly celebrated alone. There were tears, there were apologies, there were uncomfortable truths. My mother admitted that she worried most about the children who demanded attention. My father admitted that he often overlooked the child who seemed independent. Neither realized independence and invisibility are not the same thing. That conversation did not rewrite my childhood. It did not erase years of feeling unseen, but it changed something important. For the first time, I stopped believing my thoughts were less important than everyone else's. Today, I speak up more.
I share my successes. I ask for help when I need it. And when I meet quiet children, I make a point of asking questions, because I know something many people forget. The loudest child in a family is not always the one who needs attention most. Sometimes the child nobody worries about is the one silently teaching themselves how to disappear. And every child deserves at least one person who notices they are still there.